Hi guys, Beastforce here and welcome back to my Phineas And Ferb breakdown. In the previous breakdown, I break down 3 episodes that contains a 21-minute episode and an 11-minute episode for both. And it's done very well, and season 2 is making a very good start. It continues where it left on from season 1 with the same format episode like before, as some of them kind of changed it, which is for the better, because it would have been like, oh, come on, let's switch it up. But they did it very well. And we're looking forward to see more things in season 2 by now. And hope to get into more specials, as we're going to break down more 11-minute episodes. What makes Phineas and Ferb special is because of its world building, its characterization, its funny gimmicks, and a lot of things that played sense to the humor, which makes the show more entertaining and fun. I'm going to break down 8 11-minute episodes of Phineas and Ferb until we get into the Chronicles of Meat, which I'm going to do as a separate breakdown. But overall, I hope this really enjoys viewers by that and really buy into the show. Also, this is the first time I'm going to do some of these episodes a quick review, because some of them made like not buy into my time. I just want to get forward and go quickly as fast as possible. I'm not going to rush it like every episode, but I'm actually going to do some of the short, long breakdowns for the episodes, if personally to me, if it's very enjoyable, which there are. But I want to see how this goes into the narrative. The quick breakdowns, as I say. Well, Kuro the artist, the Ink Tank, did a quick breakdown on his the Rust Bucket channel, which was in his Ben 10 breakdowns, as he's going to do it again in the future. So I'm going to do this one in this breakdown, in some of them, not all of them, but to understand, to show you what I mean. And if this is your first breakdown and you're curious to know how the rating system works, there's a details description down below, as long as my other videos. So, shall we begin? The first short breakdown that I'm going to do is Attack of the 50-Foot Sister, written by John Colton Barrett and P.O. Pioso. Premiered on February the 21st, 2009 on Disney XD. Phineas and Ferb helped Baljeet with his festival entry for the biggest watermelon using a growth XLR, which Candice uses in order to increase her height in order to be the next flawless girl. Elsewhere, Dr. Doofus was planned to cover the festival with the worst smell in the history of mankind.
So I can never be perfect. No matter what I do, I'll always be 2 inches too ugly.
A girl about being flawless? Have we heard that before? Candice's POV focused on being a flawless girl as he was too short. Candice puts on the glitter to make herself taller, as it backfires.
They did this to me, they can undo it.
As Candice became taller and taller, she's gonna be a part of the PP Arlo show. PP Arlo is voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, and Bianca, the white-haired woman, is voiced by April Winchell, who did Sylvia from Wonder Over Yonder. While Plot B focused on Phineas and Ferb on helping Baljeet for the festival.
We build a portal to Mars to win the biggest watermelon contest at the festival.
God for Bastille Day.
And for the second time in season 2, we mentioned Bastille Day, but again, never got brought up and we never seen it in the episode. Also, the holograms reference to Star Wars from Leia.
This is our most desperate hour. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
I put the reference in the screen as Baljeet was gonna use his watermelon to make it big, as it was successful, as well as Candice growing big as well, but it does get smaller once Doofus murks his plan, as Plot C focus on Perry and Doof once again.
I got the idea at my cousin Gertrude's baby shower. My smellinator!
However, his plan is thwarted once again with Perry with the help of the fish agents, as a rule brought up a couple seasons ago in season 3 that you can't use 2 agents at the same time.
It's against the OWCA bylaws, and I quote, said first agent assigned is still well and able to carry out his duties.
I also like Candace's realization that both of them need to understand something.
Second, I just realized something. People's natural insecurities, so that they'll feel better about themselves, be totally unattainable, so they'll feel worse about themselves. Making beauty the focus of my life has destroyed my brothers.
As she failed to bust her brothers once again, as she is responsible for putting it on herself, but however, she does come back to normal. The plot is very simple like the previous episodes, as well as making it a show about entertainment. Overall, it's not bad as it seems. Well, the characterization did very well in some parts as well, except Candace is moaning about being 50 feet tall when she did it on herself. But it made up for it when she realized something about beauty and entertainment value for money, as well as Phineas and Ferb Bowgie are alright, as well as Doof and Perry. Overall, the visuals, top notch. There are a lot of great scenes like the backgrounds, as well as the universe being drawn with the earth, as well as doofus and needles. There are so many things to point out in this animation, as the backgrounds, not a problem at all. It is very well done, as well as we see many in season 2 so far. Overall, in the important side, it's not really much. You can skip this episode if you want to, but in the fun entertainment side, you kind of watch it because it has a lot of gimmicks that you enjoy. But for the entertainment side, it has no problems whatsoever. Overall, it is a decent episode, but for me, it's not worth my time. But if you want to watch it and you want to see the entertainment side, I can't blame you for that.
That is... But what was I
The second
thinking?
episode that I'm going to do is Backyard Aquarium, written by Joe Orantea, I can't pronounce it, and Mike Roth. Premiered on February the 21st, 2009. Since their pet goldfish did so much better for them, Phineas and Ferb built an aquarium in their backyard as a way of saying thanks. Meanwhile, Candace awaits a call from Jeremy, and Perry stops Doofusbert from destroying the hot dog vendors.
Our new pet Goldie.
I really love the ripple effect when Phineas sees Goldie, as we can see another front face Phineas again.
Yeah, we are.
No words, Ferb is such a smartass when it comes to ideas.
Does that sound good to you, Perry? Hey, where's Candace?
24 seconds in and we're getting 2 counters already. Damn.
Waiting for Jeremy to call. Calculate that soon must mean first thing in the morning. See? I have it all figured out right here on this notepad.
You know that's wasting your bills when you call every time, because you can't do that. And as you can see it, 24 hours plus 59 seconds next morning. Get it?
I'm off to my favorite author's book signing.
Don't freak! Oh my gosh, the square root of soon is never.
Herman, are you taking a shower?
Friendly reminder, that is the same lady that appeared in the background in Tip of the Day in a GLET adverts.
Oh, you need one.
I do when I remind myself to take a shower.
It's lonely.
Man, you built one big aquarium for one fish. I really love the water animation as it splashes, as it go in different directions, which is repeated in the same animation, but again, they did it very, very well. There's actually a boat called SS Flynn, which we see in the screen as I pull. I don't remember if it appears in Swiss Family Phineas when I get there, but I hope I double check.
Aren't you boys a little young to man a fishing vessel?
Why, yes, we are. Where's Perry?
Pardon the newspapers, but we have a lot of new young...
Perry is staring at the camera, so that means he broke the fourth wall.
No! Ferb, I know what else we're gonna do today.
We're not even 5 minutes in this episode and we're getting so many counters. Fuck, no. This scene is very funny. He's like Perry just standing down ready to fight as Doof is doing nothing, as it turned out to be fake once we get to that scene.
Perry the platypus! Say hello to the...
As Doof's fake self inflates as it blows up, as the smoke covers it, as it disappears. As the smoke clears, you can see Perry is already in his captured, which we call it very quick.
My PSAAIOTFMEPCinator. Something a little less than even.
Doofenshmirtz quality bratwurst.
You can see Doofenshmirtz has a spatula with a bratwurst inside. As he doesn't work on the shop, he's renting his own self to make sure everyone buy it, which it didn't happen.
Hot dog vendors. Oh, how I hated plated cards and endorsement deals. Fancy blimp.
You really lit.
When you sell bratwurst.
People making fun of bratwurst, I really feel sorry for Doof, but I'll try it. I'll make sure I'll taste it.
Behold! The hot dog vendor Revengeinator works.
I really like how Doof presses the button as the screen thing goes down, as it shows the screen of the vendor, how's it do it. Very nice, very nice.
Casing their hot water boiler. Hot dogs cold and soggy. They'll be forced to sell my bratwurst.
Man, how many bratwurst did he bought? It looks like a tent with the face covering it, as there are many different colors with the brat. As some are darker, some are light in the sides, which is very, very odd, but look at Perry, he just rolls his eyes and goes to he's like, I'm bored of this shit.
Oh, really push my buttons.
When will he call me?
The song is called When Will He Call Me, and the singer is by Sheena Easton. She also sings many songs in Phineas and Ferb, and she does voice Doofenshmirtz's girlfriend in Shea Platypus when I get to that breakdown in this video.
When will he call?
As we move to next, you see backgrounds of the green, purple, blue, and purple. You can see there are 11 phones that she is holding, as in different layers. Well, this is kind of very weird to see. Maybe because it's an animation error or they did that on purpose, but I don't know. The banjo or the guitar. I think when Perry had it before he confronted Doof in the last episode. As the phone smack Candace has bricks coming out. As you can see, Candace appears back in. Really loving the song background so far. As you can see, the big phone slaps Candace as her shoe and socks goes missing. As the phone goes bigger and bigger, just like the watermelon from the last episode, as it slats into Candace as she realizes, as the table crumbles, as she fails to get out. There's a big phone behind Candace as the shadow builds up as she gets slammed. Very good animation there.
What's with all these kids? And this time,
I'm glad they brought back this when Candace can take a picture and show evidence of it. It happened in when Phineas was fighting Buford, as she took a lot of pictures to see which she failed, and it happened again. Candace, just go closer and take a proper picture before you try it.
Hey, no cutting in.
it's my backyard. I outrank you.
That man got roasted.
Uh-oh! Yeah!
This takes a lot to animate as she spins around and around as she goes faster and faster. Really well done who animated it. She said it again, just like Fast and the Phineas when she said meat. I think they just build it early on to make sure that it's becoming a recurring thing until they plan like the meat episodes. Again, that's just the theory.
Hey, look at that! Ferb, where'd the octopus come from?
Must take pictures.
Also, I forgot her phone is waterproof as it falls in the water. I remember when Buford found Biff and her phone got destroyed by water. As I think she got an improved one to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a high-strung teen at home? After all I've been through with my own... Oh, why don't you take a whack at that first book again?
Candace is so stupid. If she never posted that picture, the book would have been successful, but she had to read it again because of you. As you can see far away, the hot dog vendor, as he zooms in, what it goes out of focus as it goes back into focus when he finds the target.
Crap! A decoy!
Why is this so fun? This is the funniest part of this episode until we get to the next scene, but a decoy? And he's wrapped him up. That's a different texture and layer. Man, this is a Phineas and Ferb gimmick that I'm looking forward to. Very nice. Well done. I really like that joke.
When it's time to fight back! No match for my bratwurst!
Use the force, Luke.
No, just kidding. I made you look, didn't I?
Is that Jeremy?
I shrink down the canvas and to see once again there are different people in the background, just like on Tip of the Day, when it's really hard to draw, but they really done it very well. You can see Sally, the same man with a purple shirt, got roasted. Jeremy, the same guy with a woman with a pink dress with the white trousers with next to the blue shirt with blue and light blue stripes. Also, just like the blondie in the front and the back are the same design, as well as the logo with the cat in the front and the back is the same. As a background characters, once again, this is fucking nuts. As Candace is rolling, as it fades into the whale, which is kind of disappointing, but there are so many to animate, so nevertheless. Differ spike the hot dogs to make sure Perry doesn't fight back. Very clever. I think this is one of my favourite scenes of season 2. There are a lot of scenes that many of them were my favourite, but this is up there with one of them. The bockwurst versus the hot dog. This became a huge part of the fandom of Phineas and Ferb, and they're still talking about this today, which is amazing.
He called me! I can't believe he really called me!
Candace is lucky that she landed top, otherwise she would have been frozen alongside it as the aura blasts as it turns into ice quickly. It would have been better if it was covered in that green aura just like the last time and it froze. Or it's just me, I don't know. Everyone's like, yeah, we're done.
You were great back there.
Thanks.
Looks like it didn't freeze all the way through.
You disrupt the pyre's equilibrium!
Look at your messages.
Yeah, I know.
Candace, you should really look at your messenger. People nowadays have Messenger, iPhone, and WhatsApp. If you want to contact your friend, just contact them. Just see it. Just put your notifications on.
Hi, Jeremy.
You have to come to the backyard.
Hi, Mom. I guess Goldie and her friends are headed to the ocean.
And sadly, this was Goldie the fish's only appearance, and we never get to see him again. That or she. That kind of sucks.
Well, you know what they say. If you love something, set it free.
Oh, there you are, Perry. We were just talking about you.
As the ice goes into the water, as it splash for a few frames, as it does, as they are set free, like that, as it splashes everywhere. Goodbye, Goldie. It was nice knowing you.
Taking a shower now!
I like this episode a lot as I remembered, but I'm going to give a plot 3. I could have given a plot of 2, but it has so many elements that works very well. It is the same formula like the previous episode. Phineas and Ferb builds something of an idea, different fights each other, but in this episode it holds off very well. As well as like the previous episode, there was a plot A, plot B, and a plot C, and it's focused on Candace's point of view to call Jeremy, as she does become successful with that. It kind of got boring. It was none of my interest until Jeremy met Candace, which made up for it. As well as Phineas and never meet Goldie ever again. They never find them. And it was a very nice touch of making them a crow, which is a fun idea. But my favourite was Perry and Doof with the hot dogs and broccoli. Very nice. Characterization, it gets a 5. Again, there are a lot of things that are very good that improved on, as well as Doof selling Barkworth, as it was an evil plan, but he is doing whatever he can to promote his brand, as well as Jeremy meeting Candace after she called, and Candace being crazy as usual, and Phineas missing Goldie as she gone, as he had to let go, even though he knows he has Perry and it doesn't really affect him at all. If he lost Perry, it would be upsetting, as well as that. Overall, everyone in this episode, very good. The visuals gets a 5. There are a lot of good animations, like the Barkers fight with the hot dogs, with the aquarium, the song when Candace is trying to call Jeremy as she doesn't. There are many good things in the backgrounds and the animation as well. Very well done. Importance, it's a 2. There could be argument that some people give it a 3, maybe for your own opinion. Reason why I give it a 2 is because there are a few things that doesn't get mentioned again. It does at times, but if I don't remember once I get there. But the aquarium, it never gets brought up again. The only thing we have is Candace and Jeremy again, which is an importance, and the Barkworth versus hot dog, which was iconic to the family, which I give an importance a 2. Entertainment, 5. That leaves off with a 20 out of 25, higher than the last score in the previous episode, but this is an improvement. Without the Barkworth versus hot dogs fight, it would have been lower as it did, but overall it's been very well done so far. Move on to the next one. The third episode that we're going to break down in this video is Day of the Living Gelatin. Written by the same writers who written the last episode. Premiered on February the 28th, 2009 on Disney XD. Candace's gelatin party inspires Phineas and Ferb to create the biggest gelatin mold ever in Isabella's swimming pool. The others invite Perry over for tea in order to convert him to an evil ally, but accidentally turns the gelatin into an evil monster.
Calorie, non-fat, more
Wouldn't have started this club because gelatin is Jeremy's favorite dessert.
Good to see Jenny appears again. This is her first appearance on season 2. Her last appearance was the last episode of season 1.
Oh, gross! Where are those two?
Right here, Candace.
As they fade in, you can see them appear as it ripples with the light colors as he teleports. Very nice effect, but it could have been done better.
We were just putting the finishing touches on our molecular transporter.
Stinky pet, out of our cabinets and go scramble your molecules somewhere else.
Bye, Candace.
Would you guys like to try some of our gelatin?
Okay.
As Phineas and Ferb gets Perry as they're about to transport away, Jenny, she's very nice as they turn around as the transport continues until it's gone.
How is sharing gelatin with them gonna ruin the party?
I like Jenny. She's a nice person.
Oh, wait!
Thanks, guys. It's fun to eat as the crazy fun things you can do with it.
Gelatins are really, really bouncy. But it's used for food as dessert. What are they doing?
Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today.
What?
Awkward silence from Stacy and Jenny.
Thanks for letting us use your swimming pool as the largest gelatin mold.
This is also another episode we visit Isabella's pool, as we did see it in Ready of the Bettys, but this is once again we get to see the view of the backyard as her house is next to it. As they're in a speedboat, the Fireside Girls just spread the gelatin all over the pool just to make their own, which is a very, very cool detail, as I'm honest.
Hey, where's Perry?
Ah, Agent P. Glad your Poofin Plots has replaced all the fine handbags in the tri-state area.
As we learned about the information about this is Wanda Akram, the woman in the screen, and we learn about Professor Poofer's plot as she doesn't appear later on, as her first appearance was in Isabella and the Temple Sap. And this is Pinky's lair as well.
Platypus, what are you doing here? Oh, Agent Pinky.
Took a wrong tube and ended up over in Wanda's division.
Yeah, that's her name, Wanda Akram.
Oh, hello, Perry the Platypus. I'm sure you're getting this. All these little tea things set out and ready because all the other entrances don't work today.
Invited you to tea. We don't know what it could possibly mean. Just maybe, it could be a trap.
Oh, he foreshadowed it. That's why Major Monogram is so smart. He knows that Doofus is up to something good or bad, no matter what it is. That's why Major Monogram is very useful when it comes to organizing his animals for Agent to fight Pharmacist. As Perry goes up, he uses his glider as it pops up as he presses the button there. It does appear once again in Phineas and Ferb, the Flash games. Yep, it is different. In the Flash game, he wears an orange one, but in this version, he uses a red one. Same outcome, different coloring.
Should be just about time. There's only one thing to do now.
I made a pair of shoes. You know, because I like shoes.
This dove to symbolize my desire for world peace and a true.
Yeah, we all know Jenny is a hippie.
He's dancing!
That looks awesome.
We should go over there and check it out.
You can see Phineas and Ferb and his friends jumping as they're in Isabella's house in the front backyard.
Uptight.
Yeah, come on.
Nah, it's okay. Go ahead. Right. Totally bust them for this.
This is nice, huh?
It's nice to see Doofus give Perry a tea, which is a nice development. I'm going to pretend there's a development for Doof and Perry, even though they fight each other, but they, like every episode, they always help each other no matter what, which is very good.
This! I call it my turn everything evilinator. Me of evil minions. Would that be fun?
Well, wait until you get to season 4 of Night of the Living Pharmacist when you turn them into Doof. Lots of me. Look at Perry, the way he dodges those lasers. He got some good reflexes. He can fight, but he can do that. Perry is the coolest agent. Just like the previous episode, it got blasted as it comes to life. But it doesn't get covered in that green oil, which is disappointing. But overall, the genital monster comes out as he begins his terror. When I first watched it, I thought it was a random monster screaming, which is used by clip, but as soon as I look in the cast, it is voiced by Clancy Brown, who returns to voice another role in Phineas and Ferb. And also, that won't be his last because he's going to voice Santa in season 2.
Hey, I'm going home.
We finally get the full size of the gelatin. He looks like a triangle shape without the arms or legs, but overall we can see the eyes and the teeth with different dots around it. It really covers up what the gelatin monster has Doofus created.
You guys are so busted!
Beat him the same way we created him, with water.
That is pretty true. You need cold water to dissolve it, and hot water as well to make sure that the gelatin doesn't come out.
Well, I know what wish. Come on.
In Isabella's shed, she has different items on the top with different things, but she has a waterproof gun. She is loaded with everything she got to fight the gelatin monster. The song is called Come On Kids, and the songwriter is by John Conby, who wrote many episodes. Also, this is also another episode is sung by Danny Jacob, who is the composer of Phineas and Ferb. Gelatin Monster has power as it covers Jenny as if like ice as she lands and it crashes back down. I like how the background is as they all dance. You can see Phineas's front face as it changed from light pink to dark pink to different colours. As the gelatin monster duplicate himself into mini clones as they go after the Fireside Girls and Phineas and Ferb. Is that from the video game? I remember the Phineas and Ferb, the Second Dimension video game. Does it have the same boss?
We're counting on you now.
This is a reference to Scooby-Doo, like the chase scenes and villains chasing the mystery gang. This happened in many Scooby-Doo episodes. Also, ironically, Clancy Brown voices the monster, as he voices the evil entity in the season finale of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated in season 2.
The bird is gone. I am flesh now. Flesh.
Poor Candace, she made all that hard work to all get eaten by a gelatin monster.
Come on, kids! Neighborhood and all the good gelatin left in the world.
Yes, dissolve this guy.
Time soon, I get that. But I must have hit lots of other things.
As Doof is pressing that button, you can see a waves as it hits a ripple effect around it as it goes to Isabella's house. As you can see Phineas's house as well as the other houses in the background.
It's working. He's not...
It worked, but Doof saved Candace actually until he becomes part of his evil companion. Also, this is a reference to It.
To re-examine my life.
All of my minions! I could have sworn I hit more threatening stuff than this.
I like how he comes up. Reference to Pennyworth.
Monster. I knew there was going to be something fun. Oh, bow before my cartilaginous creation.
There is no self-destruct button in this, as he uses water as it electrocutes, as it explodes with fire on it, as it damaged permanently.
Oh! A beautiful fruit flavor.
He is in tears because he made them evil, and all just to get thrown away for nothing, just for seconds. Poor Doof.
Used to brush my teeth.
I just realized as soon as that evil machine was destroyed, the soap and the toothbrush went back to normal as well. Really affected, just like the self-destruct. When the innators get destroyed, everything goes back to normal.
2 words for you, Mom. Gelatin.
That's a reference to Hercules, the Disney movie.
Totally sick of it.
Hey, Candace. I heard you were having a dessert party.
Nah, I'm still sick of it.
Candace is sick after the gelatin. Come on, Candace. He's doing nice for you. And I missed out Ferb's line, as he does speak in this episode, but I missed it out. So I'm going to put in the counter, and that's what it's going to be. Even this episode was very fun. I'm going to give a plot of 3 again. As I repeated many times, the episode has the same format as the previous episode, but they slightly change it. Phineas and Ferb builds an invention, as not much as it is, as they build a gelatin pool in Isabella's backyard. That's not really bustable. As well as the gelatin monster get turned by Doofus Monsters innate. I really like the scene between Perry and Doof having tea until Doof trying to blast him and turn him into evil. Really enjoy the scenes, as well as Candace trying to join in as she gets captured by the gelatin monster, as it gets destroyed by it with what she made for Jeremy, as Jeremy made something good for her in the end, but she is sick of it. The gelatin monster gets into Doofus Monster's lair just to get destroyed in seconds, which is such a shame, but it is a one time for an 11-minute episode. It would have been brilliant if it was a 21, but what are you gonna do? Characterization, it's gonna get a 4. There are a lot of people that in character, like Doofus Monster being evil in the end, even though he does help Perry with the tea as he trying to turn him into evil. The gelatin monster is just a mindless gelatin created by Doof just to get destroyed. Jenny, I really like her personality as we do. She does return as we get screen time with her, as well as Phineas and her friends at the Fireside Girl, as well as Bao-Chi. Overall, 4 is enough to get me in my head. Visuals gets a 5. There are a lot of good things, like the movement of this episode. Really like how the gelatin was made, the gelatin monster with his powers, and he's set before he was melted though, which is such a shame. I really love the innators and the rippling effect, many things in this episode. Overall, very well done. Importance, it gets a 1 because there are many things that happens in this episode, but some of the parts are like very not important reference to the episode yet ever again in the future. You can skip the episode if you want to, just like the previous things that I said, but if you want to watch for the entertainment fun, I can't blame you. Entertainment 5. That leaves off with an 18 out of 25. The same score as the Faller Scale episode. It's decent but not as high compared to the previous episode, The Aquarium, because of the iconic Barkos vs Hot Dogs and Goldie, but overall it's still interesting to watch in the entertainment value. Move on to the next breakdown. Another episode that I'm going to break down is Elementary, My Dear Stacy, written by Antoni Gilbert and Kim Robertson. Premiered February the 28th, 2009 on Disney XD. While in London, Candace and Stacy emulate Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson while trying to bust Phineas and Ferb. Meanwhile, Perry must team up with British agent 000 in order to stop Dr. Doofenshmirtz from moving Big Ben to the tri-state area. The same house that was from season 1, I believe. The Fletcher's house, as it is a different colour as we're in nighttime, and they were in the UK visiting their grandparents. Yep, it is the same, but in different colour palettes of daytime and nighttime. Very well done by the animators, as you can see a lot there.
We even learned how to use real thatch.
In the Fletcher's house, you could see a shield, a place on the top, a firewood with a wood, a phone next with a chair. They have some very medieval stuff in the old days.
Do nothing for us to do.
Nice to see Stacy joining with the Flynn Fletcher family.
Collection of Sherlock Holmes. 100. That's 7 o'clock for you, Yanks.
In America, they go to sleep at 10 a.m. In the UK, somewhere at 9 and 10. Well, us, we wake up and we get along in the morning. As you can see, I think that's the kitchen. We get to see the lights and the stuff with the tables and the chairs.
It's better than nothing.
As the sun comes out, you can see the color palette change in the Fletcher's house, as long as the mountains and all of that. But another great animation thing they've done here. Very detailed.
The London Eye, the largest Ferris wheels in the entire universe.
Anyone who doesn't know about the London Eye, it's a circle thing. Once you go inside, it goes up as you can see the view. I've been to the London Eye, and it is a very good experience for me. I've been in there and you can see the view of the Big Ben and all of the view in London. By the way, if anyone visit the London Eye or born in the UK to visit there, let me know in the comments down below. What's your view of it?
Oh no, we finished the whole collection.
Hey, where's Perry? Oh, there he is.
It's weird to have a secret layer entrance in the UK, in England, in Fletcher's house. Maybe because the old WCA or Major Monogram must have put something underground just to connect things. That's just a theory in my part. And also, I think this is similar to when Batman enters the Batcave. I don't know, maybe a different way.
Good morning, Agent P. Doofenshmirtz is up to no good here in your last mission in London.
I cannot get praise of the consistent continuity in Phineas and Ferb as they brought up, but this is the rare times they brought up when Perry as a queen fought against Doof as a dragon in Hard Day's Night.
000.
Obviously, it's a parody of James Bond. Who else?
Inspector Initials.
000.
Her name is Inspector Initials, voiced by James Lee. Iconically, in my previous breakdown episode that I did in this video, she voiced Wanda Akram, who comes back many times in this episode, which is very odd to forget about it. So, brilliant, safe and sorry.
You realize this man is a platter.
Agent 000 is voiced by Damian Lewis, who appeared in Homeland as Nicholas Brody. But many people will know his wife is Helen McCoy, who passed away in 2021, who got to voice Phineas and Ferb in season 3 when the Fletcher family visit Phineas and Ferb's yard when they went on to play football or soccer.
Wow. Well, go get him, Agent P.
No files, no location, no contact. What kind of a mission is this?
Only gives information for Perry, but he does have a point though. We need information, more identity until we find out what's going on. I really like Agent 000. And this is what I mean. Just like I discussed previously in this breakdown, before I get to it, you can see a London Eye and a Big Ben next to it. And once you see it, you can take a picture and a view if you're in there, which I did years ago.
London, we'll be back tonight after the International Haggis Festival.
I searched out International Haggis Festival, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
For the London Eye. You might want to get in line now, because it looks pretty crowded.
Yeah, just like in real life, it's very crowded, but once you get inside, it's a great experience.
Ferb and I will meet you back here later. See ya!
Bye, guys! My brothers have some scheme planned.
She knew Phineas and Ferb are suspicious. Candace, I really don't blame her. She knows what's happening right here, right now.
Learning about who is the total king of busting the boys once and for all if I use Holmes' method of deduction.
That's it. We're taking my car.
Imagine they went to Buckingham Palace. That would be fucking nuts. And yet, that's the car that Agent 000 have. I wonder what other cars he has, like James Bond. Really hope this is a parody of him, which it is.
Subatomic sonar, nuclear particle response system, and an MP3 player.
That's in reference to Goldfinger.
And I suppose you think that's funny.
Oh, Perry, he does have a sense of humor.
Need you to focus.
Sorry, got a little distracted there.
Now, why are they going into an auto parts store?
That was the same sound that we used for later episode in Hawaii when Candace had that bad luck charm.
They've acquired a fleet of automobiles, and they're in there buying a bunch of little air fresheners for them.
Next to Candace, this is a trade map, similar to what it is in the UK when you're traveling around in a different train. Example, you're going to Piccadilly Circus or different tunnels, different train routes you're going through. If you're going to college, for example, which train you take and which one you go. I've been there multiple times and I got confused until you get there. It took me difficulties, but I've learned so much. The more you get used to the map, the more you know everything in the train.
Here. I'm Agent 000 from Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh?
No, that's not how you say it.
It spells ooh.
That's how American pronounce differently compared to people in Britain.
No, they're not O's, they're zeros, all right?
Wait, I must apologize. All of my traps are platypus. Harder and harder to read, my small little wristwatch.
That's what I used to do when I get confused about the time. But now people have Apple Watches and iPads or tablet to make sure they know what the time is. It is easier for them.
Big Ben into space, tri-state area. Up, and I want to know what time it is. Yes, I am a genius. Well, yes. What do you think?
Buy a bigger watch, or maybe a wall clock.
I said the same thing, but I said Apple Watch or a tablet. But this guy's smart as me. He has some good IQ there.
Choose from like dozens of styles.
These two boys in here earlier.
About, and they had a bit of a butcher's and wheels around. A bit Harris for them kind of bushes.
And aren't they a little young to be doing that?
Yes, they are. Look at these circular indentations in the dirt.
Free tires?
Yeah, they're really playing the Sherlock Holmes parody. And I like it. Really love the design of the London Bridge. You can see the different textures around it as well as it. Really, really done well. Whoever designed all of this, you're doing a fantastic job. In the UK, you've seen these many buses around the London Bridge and all that, but there's a different buses around the areas that are occurred to.
It's elementary. Conviction elementary.
The song is called It's My Elementary. The singer is the same singer who did the previous song for the Gelatin Monster, Danny Jacob. Also, Candace and Stacey don't sing it as they have their own perspective.
It's live, it's elementary. Grab your magnifying. It's elementary.
You could see Big Ben in a different view there, as well as the other buildings next to it, which is very real life.
I think I'm close to figuring it out.
Well, I'm going up to the top of the tower.
Even though it's Doofus's evil plan, I'm not gonna put that in the counter because it's not an innator. If he build that and if it's an innator, I'm gonna put it in the counter. Since he tried to steal Big Ben, other than using it for an innator or something, I'm not gonna put it.
What's out of these before you know it?
And it takes forever. Actually, you could have just find if there was a sword or item stuff that breaks it, he would have gotten out of it. But Perry eventually gets out of it, but he takes too long.
But it says 200 Water S. Water Street, the final clue.
Candace is very, very smart, as she's wearing Sherlock Holmes's similar outfit, as it is a homage to Sherlock Holmes and Watson when they were both detectives finding something. The only thing I love about it is because it's similar and it's a parody, and there are many different actors who plays as Watson and Sherlock Holmes.
And that's why you've got to come down to...
I did my research. There are many streets in the UK that enter with Water Street.
Candace, are you there?
No snacking. Dinner's at 1900.
It means in the UK it's 7 o'clock PM.
Time!
I didn't get that impression.
As Candace using the side to shade it, as he discovers that they're going to River Thames, which is very, very, very clue. As Candace is very, very smart, like Sherlock Holmes.
Good thing I had the watch laser. Comes at the clock. He'll never see us coming.
Don't Agent 000 is a badass, but he's taken a long way. But there is an elevator there that Perry will use.
Wow! Candace, you're amazing!
Ironically enough, this is in Big Ben as well. They're using that fun ride for it. And Doofus is going to launch it to the tri-state area, which is going to be crazy.
Phineas! Pipes. I see what those were for, but what was with the pineapple?
He's using that for speed.
As Ferb's using his butter for speed, you can see the water repeating the same animation in that ride as Ferb is about to go down. He looks like a badass, I'm not gonna lie, with the swimming costume. As Ferb goes jumping in the water and bouncing into the side of the London line. Perfect timing from him.
The accent. Wrong number.
That happens all the time when people stop ringing the phones and it was a wrong number. People gotta stop doing that shit.
Customer of the day.
Ooh, it's 4:15. Mom should be...
Another angle, you get to see the Big Ben, which is another great touch.
Look up here!
This is like London in real life. There are a lot of people here to visit the Big Ben, the London Eye and all that. And people go for like museums or aquariums and stuff like that.
Mom, look! Mom! Mom!
Ah! Hey, look at this! It's like a ride! Cannonball! Well, I was expecting a bigger splash.
That's gotta hurt. Luckily, it wasn't of the further of the top, and if Doofus had landed an impact, that could have killed him.
Whoa! Mom! Look at...
Oh, Big Ben!
Mom, you missed all the fun.
Looks like we did.
I'll never understand fashion.
That is similar when Candace, when she found out Kuda Crane is pencil deck, which Ferb talks about it. Back to nighttime, you can see the shadows in the side. They did a lot of animating work around here.
Oh, that took longer than I thought. Wait.
Okay, the plot will get a 3. There are some plot A's, plot A and B combining together with plot C when Candace tries to discover clues about Phineas and Ferb's adventures before finally found out that they're doing a fun ride in the Big Ben, which is very, very nice. Really like how they build up what led to this situation. We also like Doofus's part, as we don't get to see Agent 000 again, as that is his only appearance. I would love to see more of him, as he took the long way he should have done, but nevertheless Agent P took care of it, as always. However, the characterization will get a 5. I really love Candace's part in this episode. He doesn't moan, even though that's in her character. She's very patient as she became on Dr. Holmes' costume, as she discovers to find out what Phineas and Ferb's adventures. As it fails, I really like how Candace handles the situation to know. As well as Stacy, she plays her part as well to help as Dr. Watson, which is very nice. Really love Agent 000. He doesn't appear ever again. I wasn't Inspector Initials. She doesn't appear again as well. I really like Agent 000. I wish they brought him back, but it wasn't to be. As well as the rest of the characters, usual as their own character. The visuals, stunning. 5, because it has a lot of things like the last time we've been to Phineas and Ferb. In London, you get to see the Big Ben design with different aspects as the London Eye, streets in the UK, set up like the costume of Candace as well as Stacy wearing a hat to portray as Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes. Very good. Importance, it gets a 2, self-explanatory. Entertainment, 5. That leaves off with a 20 out of 25, higher than the last score, but it is a very good episode to watch if you have the time with it, which is a continuation from A Hard Day's Nights when you visit in the UK. Hopefully that will be the last, I presume. Move on to the next one. This episode is going to be a short breakdown, and it's called Don't Even Blink, written by Anton Gelbard and Kim Robertson. Premiered on April the 4th, 2009 on Disney XD. Thanks to Stacy's advice, Candace tries to figure out how Phineas and Ferb's crazy creations disappear every time before their mom sees it. Dr. Doofus creates an invisible ray to make the Fireside Girls invisible when they come knocking to sell him cupcakes.
You know how you guys like build stuff every day?
Yeah.
Another episode focusing more about busting. Like the goal for the rest of the season 1 is to focusing on busting Phineas and Ferb for building their ventures, as Candace for once making them sure they want to build it to show it to Mon for a trick.
Boys, make it big and make it obvious.
Which they do, and also the title reference is Don't Even Blink, is reference to Doctor Who.
Don't look away and don't blink.
The song is called Watching and Waiting, and this is by far one of the most underrated songs in Phineas and Ferb and in season 2, which focuses on Phineas and Ferb playing the guitar about the inventions they made, which is very cool.
We're watching and we're waiting.
Candace tells them to have fun as before Mom gets home.
And may luck be with you.
It's a reference to Star Wars, which was the iconic line.
Hey, Luke. May the Force be with you.
Anyways, plot B on Doofus and Perry's part is focused on Doofus' plan of turning the Fireside Girls into invisible.
One, and now you're in an invisible cake.
Which gets mentioned again in Picture This, as Doofus does again about invisible, but this time an invisible box in later episodes.
And by the way, you're trapped in an invisible box. Yes, I know, I trapped you before in an invisible cage, but this is different. It's a box. My Invisinator!
As Perry got through, both of them became invisible as they find each other, which makes the more fun and entertaining, as Perry moved it into a different direction to Phineas and Ferb's backyard, as Phineas and Ferb's inventions disappear, but it's invisible.
It's back! It's gone! It's back! It's gone! Back! Gone! Back! Gone!
Most disappointing thing about Candace is she should have just let her park the car and see the invisible going back and forward, which would have been better, but Candace hesitated there. Doof uses a disintegrator to destroy Phineas and Ferb's inventions, as Perry destroys Doofus's machine, as Candace fails once again.
I don't understand! I just don't understand!
The plot will get a 3 again. Again, no matter how simple it is, I like how they try a different method of Candace making sure that Phineas and Ferb's inventions stay as they watch and stare, as it became invisible. But no matter how often Candace tries, it always disappears. As well as Perry Doof, it was very fun the part with Doof using Doof's nator to make it invisible to creative, which is fun as they do it again in the future. Characterization makes it a very good one. Not quite as the last episode, but everyone is very consistent as well as their personality, but not much is going for. As well as Doof and Perry, we had a lot more, even though it was a little, but it was enough to get me my interest. As well as Stacy is very alright, as well as Candace, she is the same as other episodes, as she does try, but it doesn't work. As well as the Fireside Girls, as well as they all had fun doing it. The visuals, not a problem at all. There are so many incredible backgrounds of the song with the invisible ray that Doof had and the Phineas and Ferb's invention. There are a lot of stuff and a lot of movement around the characters as well. Top notch once again. Importance have a lot of things to cover up, like the busting thing played the most part as it continues roughly since season 1. As well, Doof continued the invisible gimmick that was used for the invisible bot, and the song as well, very iconic as well. Not as I anticipate, but it's very well done. Overall, entertainment side has been very consistent since episode 1 of season 2, and it's continuing on where it left off in season 1, providing a lot of fun because it's for kids and in making sure that everything it is the same score like the previous episode, as well as the characterization go from 5 to 4, which it does alright in most part. Overall, it doesn't ruin everything, as well as the episode of Phineas and Ferb. Overall, season 2 is doing very well so far.
Hey, I was using that!
Tom Gilbert and Kim Robertson write another episode called Shea Platypus, premiered on April the 4th, 2009 on Disney XD. Phineas and Ferb opened Shea Platypus, which becomes the trendiest restaurant in town. Jeremy asks Candace out on a date to the restaurant. Meanwhile, Doofenshmirtz goes on another date from his online dating service and vows to destroy all love in the tri-state area if the date doesn't go well.
What's that noise? I'm hungry too. That trendy restaurant Mom and Dad took us to last night wasn't exactly satisfying.
Yes, I think we got that.
I did my research and this is what entree means. The main course of meal.
That's it! I know what we're gonna do today, Ferb.
Candace, are you sitting down? I don't want you to have an aneurysm.
Gonna call you and ask you out for a very special evening tonight!
Finally, after a build up to season 1 and half of season 2, we're finally going to see Candace and Jeremy go on a date.
Doctor of Love, I got a fever.
Well, let me take care of that little lady.
Me? Just calling to remind you.
What you doing?
Ferb and I decided to build a restaurant.
Eating?
You guys can bust tables. Never leave home without my velvet rope.
Your restaurant.
Shea Platypus, of course.
I don't know what to come up with better names, but Shea Platypus is very good. But if you want to come up with other restaurants for yourself, what would it be? Let me know in the comments down below.
Where's Perry?
Date night tonight with the wife.
I think we learn about Major Monogram's wife, have you mentioned, but it doesn't. She doesn't appear at all. But his son does in season 3.
Anyway, Agent Man, put a stop to it. Good luck.
The song is called Do Nothing Day, and it's a great callback from the episode The Best Lazy Day Ever.
Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Candace? Okay, no,
Okay,
you
you go.
talk. To do something tonight?
That'd be great.
Well, awesome. So I'll pick you up later?
Listen, you twerp.
Candace calling them twerps. Isn't that quote from Very Odd Parents or something?
Get some of this stuff, get it?
As time passed, we are now in the afternoon.
Noticed how I reinforced the locks, but just like I planned. Oh, tired of all these happy couples around me.
Same, dude, same. I don't mind couples around me, but when it comes too much, it irritates me a lot because I'm not in a relationship yet, but I don't know. What do you think?
Their happiness. Their satellite will eliminate the feeling of love. Just press this button. It would be so easy.
Once we come to this thing, you can see the shadows overlapping him, which makes it more dramatic and scary for Duke to press this button, which he doesn't until later. Actually, he doesn't. What I mean is...
Simple, but, I've got a date tonight. I'm definitely going to ruin it for everyone else.
Nice Gitchy Gitchy Goose soundtrack again.
Hi.
Both of the designs, I really like how they're using different designs for their clothes. As Candace is wearing a pink dress, as Jerry's wearing his blue tie and his suit, which makes him look nice for a date for them too. But I would have been better if Candace's hair tied back.
Your brothers have opened the trendiest restaurant in town.
Shea Platypus. It looks like many designs from an actual restaurant, as it is in the background. You can see a platypus tail on the top with windows in the side, 2 of them on the top, as there's a door in the bottom next to Buford, who's guarded the place. Very neat, very simple, not bad at all.
Restaurants are so now, so wow.
Are we waiting in this line? I practically own the place. Come on. Out of my way, people. VIP coming through.
On the list. You should have made a reservation, yeah.
A reservation yesterday? So that means the Shea Platypus was built since yesterday. And if it takes place since yesterday, why isn't Linda and Lawrence came back?
Restaurant didn't exist yesterday.
Thank you, Candace. At least she understands it.
Forgot to make a reservation.
Bribe me. He just caught my attention in a monetary fashion.
This design is very good. You can see a mat on the floor with the platypus feet. Woods on the floor, Shea Platypus on the top, the orange and yellowy texture colors in the background, and you can see the windows covered in blue or textury. There are a lot of things that are very good, and it does very well, very simple.
Perry?
No, not lately.
Just like Candace, Isabella has a different dress in this episode. You can see the blue tie and the blue dress, wearing a blue sandals, as Phineas and Ferb wearing a tuxedo with a blue tie and white shoes, which is very, very well done. I really like how they're not wearing the same clothes every day as they go into Shea Platypus, trying to look nice, trying to look good. Really loving it so far.
So you like tall men, is that true?
You're not very tall at all.
Doofus Mertz is slightly taller than her, despite commenting about her height. As is pretty true. Maybe or maybe not. Doofus' girlfriend is voiced by Sheena Easton. She does couple songs in Phineas and Ferb before voicing it.
True, I slouch.
That is pretty true, and we see him in Wikipedia. He is 6'2", but 1.88 millimeters. But he did slouch.
Honest, I've never been able to resist a man in a lab coat.
Hey, there you are, Perry.
Hey, a front-faced Phineas with a tuxedo. And also, Perry took his hat quickly before Phineas found him. But if he did, his agent would have been exposed. Not until the second dimension, but Phineas did find him with wearing a hat in, as Phineas threw him in the trash. But as he was so close to being busted, but he was frozen as he's still. If he moved, that would have been it. It would have been over.
Attracted to blondes.
Out of work in the morning, but apparently worth it.
I really like this though. Perry goes up as the light shines on him as the water splash coming out the top with 5 of them. 6 of them are actually pretty nice. Chef Ferb. The big 2 comes out as you can see the plate going first as the chicken next. I really love the design. of the chicken is just like real life when you cook it and you eat it. You know what? I'll try it if it's real, but I do eat chicken. Imagine Gordon Ramsay was in this episode. What was his reaction would be? But he does actually voice in Phineas and Ferb in season 4 when we get there.
Owner's sister! I demand to be let in right now!
I really don't mind waiting a bit. It's actually kind of fun.
Oh, come on!
I really don't blame Candace for losing her patience because Buford is being such a prick right now.
I love it. Look.
Really love the design of the evil tattoo. You can see the eye was a fire like, and you can see the ears are like a tail as well. As Doofusnuts 1 is the same but very different. You can see the L with the tail, the eyes like a diamond, as the E is normal. Very different but very cool.
Anymore because it attracts so many weirdos.
That's what modern day social media nowadays.
Calling Mom and making her tell the boys to let us in.
Dinner. We'll be home in a minute.
I don't need it anymore. I am in love.
Oh, that is so nice for Doofusnuts to get a girlfriend. Because, you know, he's been looking for a girlfriend ever since he divorced his wife. But it's nice to see Doofusnuts being happy. Because every episode he's like pissed. He's like he wants to fuck shit and do evil stuff and want to destroy the tri-state area. It's nice to see Doofusnuts enjoying himself. That's what we want to see. Even though he's evil at that time, you gotta have sympathy for him. As the Badger restaurant everyone's talking about, you see the same two people earlier, as well as the background, which is very nice to see all the background characters appear. As you can see, the woman with the blue dress appears yet again. As the platypus chairs, I really forgot to notice those are the chairs for the platypus tier, which is very nice, as they're going into a Badger restaurant.
Yeah! I haven't eaten a badger.
As you can see it from a different view, you can see more windows on the sides there. Very nice how they animate from different views. Very well done.
The public is fickle.
You tell him, Ferb.
Your restaurant.
I forgot it's the same news report from Boyfriend from 2700 BC at Flopstar. Very nice to recognize the same character. Also, it's this episode, it's not voiced by Jeff Bennett.
Heck, dinner service is over.
As Perry destroyed the delovinator, you can see a light flashes around as it blows up in smoke as it goes down. Very nice effect.
Excuse me, miss. Do you have a table for two?
Right this way, sir.
I'm glad they saved it until the end.
A lot of fun in your backyard, but this is the best time yet.
Candace, you want me to put a stop to this?
Where were we?
I really love their relationship. Even though Finnabella or Vanessa have way more superior than this because of the fandom, but Candace and Jeremy is right up there with one of the best couples ever in Phineas and Ferb, and it works very well for them both, as we get to see more in later seasons. This transition is where you can see a circle sucks in as you can see the moon. Here comes one of the most underrated songs in Phineas and Ferb.
Now it's my new evil scheme.
The song is called Evil Love, and this is Doofusnuts' first musical performance in season 2. And the songwriter is John Colton Barry, and the creator and the voice of Doofusnuts, Dan Provermeyer. I'm also very upset that this wasn't voted in musical clips, the countdown, but I'll talk about it another time.
How an evil boy meets an evil girl.
Also, the song is reference to Robin Hood.
The whole wide world.
As the hearts of faces fades in, you get to see them moving around. As Doofusnuts and the girlfriend moves aside, you get to see them moving side by side. As the background circles moving with the purple, dark purple and that. Very nice. I think this is planned early so that they can make something for the second dimension before it released. And also, Doofusnuts did make the robot arm, but he self-destructed when he mentioned it to the second dimension Doofusnuts.
So no one could reach them. And march.
You can see the candle as the shadow lighting between the frames as it changes perspective once the other side wants the narrator when Doofenshmirtz and the girlfriend sitting as it blasts. In the song sequence, you see the guards are the same side of the SSN when Perry's dream when Major Monogram tells that Agent P's cover's been blown. Doofenshmirtz's girlfriend blow up the moon. As you can see, it explodes and its hearts appear as a moon, which is very, very thoughtful of Doof. I wish there were a couple on screen. As you can see, it fades in with the hearts and with the faces again. As you can see them appear behind them again as it fades, which is very odd, but okay. The next scene pisses me off a lot because I just wish Doofenshmirtz gets a dub, but he always ends up getting an L at the end of the day. As well as the bot was, that's the only pun I wish he won, but again, that is what it is.
Oh, honey.
The Delovenator crashes as it shakes as it blasts Doofenshmirtz's girlfriend, who is covered in that green aura as she leaves him, which is very heartbreaking.
Nothing.
This is so sad. Anything that Doofenshmirtz gets, it always ends up in failure. Why did you give Perry that remote thing? You should have kept it and making sure that doesn't happen, or just go super far away and make sure this doesn't. Doofenshmirtz could have succeeded and got the girl, but this is heartbreaking. But it gets a 3. There are very, very good things in this episode as well, as plot A focus on Phineas and Ferb building on Shea Platypus, as it's not mainly the main focus in this episode, as there is a balance like every episode. Phineas and Ferb builds inventions and Doof planning something, but I really love Doof and his girlfriend until he became his ex-girlfriend in the last scene, which is very heartbreaking. As well as Candace and Jeremy, I really love their part. Their chemistry works so well in every episode, no matter how ridiculous Candace is. I really like Jeremy. He's so cool, he's so patient. He's very happy to have the time of his life with Candace, even though the situation is not clear. Really love it so far. The characterization will get a 5. Everyone in this episode is consistent, and the best part about it is Doof is not evil. He's not trying to threaten. He does actually, but he really trying to get this girl to be with him. He did until that innate fire, which is very nice. Really love Jeremy as he is so cool, just like in every episode. Very chill, very nice. As Candace, as always, very losing his patience, as always, as the rest of the episode. Really like Phineas is nice as he doesn't try and fight back, he just lets the person have the restaurant as it went away. As overall, everyone, well done. The visuals is a 5. I could have gave it a 4 with. There are a lot of good things like the Shea Platypus, the background characters, the idea from outer space, but the song between Doof and his girlfriend, there are a lot of good backgrounds, a lot of things that they put in together. Really well done, and that saves a lot for it. Importance is a 3. It's because we got more scenes of Candace and Jeremy, and there are a lot of gimmicks to enjoy, which is funny. And also the most important part, I would have given it a 2 without the song Evil Love, which plays a huge part in the fandom, and they're still talking about this to this day. Overall, it's very good. Entertainment gets a 5. That leaves off with a 21 out of 25. Overall, this is very, very good. And without the Evil Love song, this would have been lower than that, but that saves amount of time to play it straight for this episode, for the segue of it. Overall, please go watch this episode. It is fun, it is funny, and it has a lot of things to enjoy. Let's move on to the next one. Another episode that I'm going to do a short breakdown is Perry Lays an Egg, written by Joe Arantea and Mike Roth. Premiered on April 11, 2009 on Disney XD. Phineas and Ferb find an egg and believe it's Perry's, and they take care of it until Candace decides to teach them how to properly take care of an egg. Meanwhile, Heinz Doofenshmirtz plans to get revenge on Wales for stealing his old girlfriend.
Perry laid an egg. You know what this means, don't you? We're gonna have 2 Perrys.
This brought back the line from Roller Coaster when Phineas said maybe he will lay an egg.
They're the only mammals to lay eggs.
Maybe he'll lay an egg.
Candace watches a channel which is a turtle, which reference to Animal Planet.
Have a mother to protect them through these crucial moments of infancy.
As Phineas and Ferb trying to protect the egg to make sure it's warm and safe, as Candace intervenes, as she also does it, which is a very well trait on her character, as we do see much of her feel sympathy. Even though it's Perry the Platypus's egg, which is not, I really like how Candace takes responsibility to know what she's going to do with it, to build a nursery and etc. The song is called Technology versus Nature, as it played on Mother Nature's Son from the Beatles. Also, this has a reference to Apple, as the Mac keyboard, as it has a command key as well. As Phineas and Ferb use a land speed similar to Star Wars, as it turned out to be a bird because Ferb knocked it down from the nest. The funny part about this is that Candace tells Mom that only Candace's invention sees it, but Phineas and Ferb's doesn't.
You only managed to see this one! Why only mine?
Although it's all been for nice, it's nice to see Candace taking responsibility for herself, as Jeremy appears late. As Major Monaghan tells about Doofenshmirtz's plan, you can see he's actually bald without a mustache, which is very, very cursed. Plot B focuses on Doofenshmirtz getting revenge on the whale for breaking out Elizabeth, as she loves the whales, as the whale trash talked Doofenshmirtz, but again, which leads to another heartbreaking story.
I of blubber and broke my fragile 10-ounce, utterly too human heart.
This is the second episode in a row Doofenshmirtz saw his girlfriend leaving with him as they go away, which is very, very sad. Which is a reference to Finding Nemo.
Dory, heaven knows what you're saying.
Perry doesn't think it's evil enough, he leaves as he trying to go away from Doof. As Perry was tired of his shit, he injected it to the whale inside of the whale. As Doofenshmirtz sees his girlfriend Elizabeth inside the whale, similar to how Flapjack and Knuckles live.
Elizabeth?
Best decision I ever made.
And she is voiced by Carly Walgan, who returns to voice another character in the show. Overall, the plot is another simple episode, but not quite as the charm as the previous episode. It has some really good ideas with the platypus laying the egg, as it never happened, as well as Doof and Perry's plot didn't play as much in the story. Overall, it was alright, but not as stellar as the last one. The characterization is simple, it is very good, not quite as the last episode, as you get to see Doof talks to his girlfriend before his girlfriend leaves in the law, but he didn't get much with Elizabeth. We did in the flashback, not as much, as Perry as usual was tired of his shit. Really love seeing Candace taking responsibility for the platypus egg before it was not, and I really like Phineas and Ferb helping her, which is very nice, but the visuals has a lot of good things like the background, the building when Perry was running away from Doof, the sea animation. There are a lot of things to cover up, which is done very, very well, as every episode of Phineas and Ferb so far. Importance is not really much in this episode. You can just skip it if you want to watch it for entertainment, just like I always said in every episode. The two things that are really important is the Perry laying the egg plot line, which it didn't happen, but obviously we got that. And the second part was when that iconic meme.
Thwart me, Perry the Platypus.
While the entertainment file just never disappoints, as always. The episode is not that bad, but it's not as high as the previous episode. If you want to watch it for entertainment and fun, for the gimmicks, I really don't blame you. But Overall, there are some episodes that are better out there to impact the Phineas and Ferb segue into the role, and that's how it is.
See? He
Last episode that I'm going to break down is Gaming the System, written by Joe Aratea, Zach Moncrief, premiered on Disney XD April the 11th, 2009. Phineas and Ferb accidentally trap Candace in a video game and have to help her out. Meanwhile, Perry has to stop Doofenshmirtz from trapping men into wearing dresses. Fun fact, the episode is similar to Power Mad from Very Odd Parents, which aired in 2001, and this aired in 2009. It has the same sound from the Nintendo games. It is the same as Mario's Code without the lack of stripes overall in the side, as it is similar, making sure that they don't go full parody, which they do.
Easy. I just use this camera. And then you do this, and this, and that. Look.
Wow, maybe in video games there's like a mod or a hack when you could put your face in it, which is very cool, but Beaver doing it, and it's very complicated as he does it short, which is confusing, but the way you get it, it makes it fun.
Jeremy is taking me to the summer cotillion!
I found out what the summer cotillion means, as it is a social dance, as they're going to do dancing together, which is very nice for their characters, for developing their relationship more.
Jumping and ducking. What's the actual objective of this game?
Educational value in this game.
Actually, there are some in which Balji is right, but everyone plays video games for fun, which they do, including myself. So Balji, come on, man. Get your head out of your ass.
You can improve this. With a little effort, we could...
Okay, what normal? I guess my night's safe after all. Sucked into a video game.
Candace just giving them ideas again. This happened many times in season 1 and season 2. He's like, maybe you're going to do something, and Phineas and Ferb do something, and he tries to bust them. Candace, you're giving him ideas. What about she gets busted because he gives him ideas?
I know what we're going to do today. Hey, where's Perry?
First, we know what you're getting for Christmas. Don't ask, our lips are sealed.
Foreshadowing on what's going to happen in Phineas and Ferb Christmas Vacation, which is going to be a breakdown soon, once I get to that episode.
Second, he's been doing a lot of research into the
and this is that present that Deuce gives in Phineas and Ferb Christmas Vacation.
taffeta, satin, and most ominous of all, velour.
Taffeta, satin, and velour, which means there are different things with the to combine it to make a dress for his nail, which is smart planning from Doof, but it will be funny.
Truly immersive video game experience.
First switch on the power, you can see the electricity in the house turn as the ball, and Candace's hairdryer not working.
Drying my hair!
Sorry about the power, Candace.
Jeremy is gonna get here
As the light flashes in Candace, you can see her going into the video game, as there are a lot of dot on numbers in covering her before she got sent to her, which is very, very odd, but very cool. As you can see the numbers covering her as she comes into the video game. It is a reference to Tron when Kevin Flynn did the same.
The video game.
What do you mean I'm in the...
Yeah, this is so reference to Nintendo Entertainment System, where it's all the pixels and that with a body. As you can see the face as that, as well as the birds are also pixel, but not Candace, as she is wearing a towel right now. She will be very, very busy.
Wait, is it 11 o'clock yet? Wait.
That's a recycled joke that was used in the original pitch.
Tremble in fear before the most twisted.
You hear that music. Dun, dun, na, na, na. I really love that soundtrack when Doof reveals a NATO. I think that was the same soundtrack was used when even Blink.
My Invisinator. Tremble in fear before...
I actually like that soundtrack more when the NATO gets revealed, but there are other soundtracks when There are a lot of things when Doof announced a NATO, which is very good, but this one's one of my favorites. As the smoke is covering on that ball, as it's making the NATO with the wires, as Perry's shadow gets overlapped, building up to a dramatic reveal, which is very, very nice. I like how the ball comes out as the smoke started to build up. The only disappointing thing, we don't get to see the full view until Doofus might reveal it. We continue to see the smoke as Doofus pull out the ball garninator as he shoots Perry as the smoke disappears. The only disappointment for me is he shoots Perry, but in a dress, as he doesn't get covered in that green oil, which is very underwhelming, but oh well.
You see, it's hard to fight when you're double too. Ooh, you look so elegant, like you're going to a cotillion.
I remember Perry wearing a ball gown was a meme, but I couldn't find it anywhere because I'd be too lazy. But also, I found a tweet that the voice actor for Phineas, Vincent Martella, said Perry the Platypus is a Disney princess, and this is what he would look like in that dress, but put a crown in it, and he is a princess.
See, back in Gimmelstorp in the...
Yes, more flashbacks.
Months knitting pretty dress. The baby turned out to be a boy, and...
This is what Roger looks like when he's a baby. We haven't mentioned Roger since season 1 when he became mayor, but he does appear in season 2. I really feel bad for Doofusmas right there. And he became... I remember an episode in season 1 where Doofusmas' father called the dog Only Son. Before Roger was born, in fact, by the way. I really feel bad for Doof.
Dresses for an entire year, classmates.
I really feel sorry for Doofus. It is, when I first watched it, this is funny, but this is kind of sad now. Doofus's parents really torturing, making Roger Doofus, the mayor, who grew up to be the mayor, become a very better person than him. While Doof tries everything and he fails. Becoming the lawn gnome, failed to dive in the swimming pool once we get to that episode, failed to turn up for his birth, and got trashed by a puppet with huge hands getting the girl. I really feel bad for Doof. I really hope he gets justice over his parents, but I don't know.
Stay there! You know, by comparison, this because I had this whole musical number prepared and...
The same woman who wears the pink dress is the same design for 5, maybe just to put them there as a duplicate.
Out of here! I still have to get ready! And get me there now!
Oh, you want cheat codes? No, we don't roll like that.
Can you imagine, though? Imagine using mods to cheat the game. That would be fun.
What do you mean?
Duck! Duck, 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 duck.
Phineas, just go there and help.
Help her.
That's what I just fucking said. Ha! I think this is an apple or tomato, a banana and an orange with faces, with angry faces, which is hilarious. As Candice blasted the 3 fruits with her hairdryer, you can see them dissipating as she gets points as they drop on the floor as their eyes appear. You can see the backgrounds with different trees with pink and purple. Very good for a game like this.
Maybe they should call it Jump, Duck, and Blow.
What happened here? Oh, that's right. Candice has her hairdryer.
As Candice uses her hairdryer, you can see waves and sonnets blasting the fruits in this world, which is very, very cool.
Come inside this digital domain.
The song is called Let's Go Digital. I thought it was Let's Get Digital. Sing by Danny Jacob, the song composer for Phineas and Ferb. The songwriter is from the creator. Also, there's a slowed version of this in Toy of the World.
Factory boys, this is where it all happens.
Also in Out of Tune.
We start with a few crude drawings. We compile those into a storyboard.
Also has a sharp thing in his head as he has one eye and pointy ears as he is big before getting evaporated by Candice. Oh yeah, this is some reference to a lot of buildings and stairs inside of it, as it's reference to many things we've seen in cartoons many times.
Virtual is so.
As you can see, the blue background with the triangle rotating. As you can see, the hairdryer that Candice blasted the fish. As you can see, skeletons, as some of them have been evaporated.
in my system.
This is a reference to Jack and the Beanstalk. As Candace stands on the beanstalk, as Phineas and Ferb got to, as the cracks start to appear on the ground, once it gets bigger and bigger and larger, as the three things fail to capture it, as you can see a different view with the beanstalk curling around as it's continued to go in height, as it's very well done so far. There are a lot of good things in this episode, but it's done very well. Well done.
Let's go digital.
That's the second time Doofus has a big balloon. The other one was in Do Nothing Day, the best lazy day ever, when Doofus has the balloon and the Uglianator.
Weird.
This is cool, as his hat goes into spikes as it walks around, as he got free from Doofus Mertz's trap. This is very cool for Perry's gadget. Suits him.
Oh, great. Now everyone's staring.
This is the season 1, season 2 backgrounds with different layering, different colors without the windows and text. You see the background does get better overall in season 3 and season 4 with all the buildings, the windows showing. There are a lot of things to improve, which they do, but they got better. But overall, it's still pretty good.
And Ferb, I guess Candace already made it to the boss level.
This gives me Mario vibes when you go to fight Bowser as the last boss.
Forgot that we made Buford the boss.
Look at the height comparison. Buford as a boss level is huge. Almost as huge as Forearms and Humongousaur from Ben 10.
Drop the twerps, you freak!
That's the second time she said twerp in this breakdown and in season 2. I know this is Vicky's quote from Fairy Odd Parents, using that quote many times.
Out of the way, twerp! Can't really fuck!
This is a reference to The Simpsons.
Beat me to death with my own life bomb.
Wait a minute.
Can you imagine Phineas and Ferb died? That would be too unrealistic. That wouldn't happen, but I really like the detail. You could see the full version of the castle.
You guys are okay? Come on. Yeah, that was a piece of cake.
Candace is a gamer, everybody. Yeah.
In the real world.
Buford as a boss beats up his own. That's gotta be hilarious.
Value?
You know, eventually I'm getting out of here.
Exactly as planned.
Isabella, no!
Leave my friends alone. Oh. Smile.
As Isabella pressed the button, as waves of flash hits Boss Doof, as he's covered in that number of aura, as he gets sucked into the camera. Isabella is such a G in this episode, even though she didn't get much, but I really like it.
The bigger they are, the harder they to pixelate.
That's a reference to the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Perry blasts Doof, and he doesn't get caught in that aura. He gets in the next scene, he gets in that dress so quickly, which is so weird because it would have been a lot to animate. So there's a few animation scenes there, but there's even not animation for the gaming system where Phineas and Ferb goes to a gaming world with Candace, which I really don't blame because there are so many animating process maybe in later episodes, so there's a lot to be done.
Oh no! Jeremy's here!
This scene is very funny. They get covered in that green aura as it's different effects as they were dressed up. As Isabella's bow is different, as it's light pink, now it's dark pink. As they all look very good, including Isabella, who looks stunning in that dress, as rarely we see.
Apparently, do what we did.
Perry using a dress to slow down. This is similar to what Batman did with his cape, which is very cool.
Part of the game. Oh, there you are, Perry.
Once the dress lands, her hair's changed as the towel covered in it, which is very, very good. And Candace looks stunning.
You all look beautiful.
I think it's part of the game.
Okay. Call it a cotillion anyway.
Don't get me started.
If his balloon's gonna land on the convention center, that's where Candace is going to.
Thank you and curse you.
Doofus was like, thank you for giving me the calm, but I've been humiliated. This is a funny way to end it. Gets a free There are a lot of good things in this episode. Candace going in the game, and she would have been struggling without the hairdryer, but she figured out how to blast them, all the monsters and enemies there, until she faced Buford as she uses her health bar. She is very smart and very intelligent, as Phineas and Ferb help the way as they follow, which they done very well. As plot B focus on the hilarious plot with Doofus wearing girl dresses as his plan fails once again, but it is actually pretty hilarious, which is a type of Phineas and Ferb gimmick that you look forward to as we get Doofus with a flashback. I really like the idea, really like the gimmick so far, and it's done very well. Characterization, it gets a 5. Everyone was very on point in this episode, as well as Doof, as his plan is ridiculous but is exceptional because of the flashback he's going through, as well as Perry as usual. I really like Candace in this episode. He does sometimes get angry or intimidating or very, very cross, but she does very well in the game as she uses the hairdryer to fight her way in the end, and she is very smart as she does get dressed until the end as Doofus was late or helped him. As well as Phineas and Ferb, the rest of the friends did play their part as well, with Buford introduced the game, which is very nice. Really like how Isabella just uses the camera thing to put Doof inside of the game, which is back inside the game, which is very smart. Overall, everyone's a very well done so far. Visuals gets a 5. There are a lot of stunning visuals inside of the game when Candace fighting the enemies and the monsters. I really like the design of Buford as a monster, as the boss. Really like the dresses and a lot of things to cover up, but overall there's a lot of action, a lot of fun with the movement over the characters. Very good. Even though it's a fun episode, I'm going to give it a 2. There are many things that important, like Doofus Mountain Flashback and some etc. It's not really got brought up for the fandom that much, but it's still very fun. Speaking of fun, it gets a 5. That leaves off with a 20 out of 25. Higher than the last score, which I expected because it's a very good episode. It's very fun. The go inside the game when Candace and Phineas and Ferb does is amazing. How they explain it, and there are fun gimmicks that are really exploited. It's top notch. Moving on to the final thoughts. Okay, there are many references that I missed, but Beaksman's world when Phineas and Ferb developing the potion, Phineas says bada bing, which is a reference. In Backyard the Aquarium, Doofus said the same quote that Mickey Mouse said.
Well, hot diggity dog.
Also, Day of the Gelatin is the same title as Night of the Living Dead. Admiral Akram said good grief like Charlie Brown.
Good grief.
Area got great.
In Carly Sam, Watch Your Way and Waiting has a similar music style and opening to You're So Vain. Doofus' girlfriend mentions that she is usually attracted to blonde men, which is a reference to Doofus' original appearance. Also, Phineas gave any indication of feelings for Isabella for the first time, as we're gonna break down the Meep episode, which is coming in the next video. And there is a lot of things to cover up, but if you want to check these episodes of references or allusion to the show, go on Wikipedia and you will find out what it is. I can't break down all of them, but I need to understand. I will break down some that interested me, so yeah. Phineas and Ferb season 2 is doing very well, and it's one of the best seasons of all time, but I'm not going to use that topic until after the Meep episode when I get there. But there are a lot of good things that comes in season 2, but it gets better every time. The music is getting better, the jokes is fantastic, the scenes are very good. There are a lot of hilarious scenes that makes you want to watch and entertain for fun, and this Phineas and Ferb has shown that for all over the years now, and it's been amazing. In my community tab, which is your favorite song that I break down in Phineas and Ferb so far? Comments down below which one is your favorite out of the 5 songs, or comment in the community tab. When will he call me? Come on kids, let's go digital. watching and waiting, or evil law? Let me know in the community tab below, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, see ya.